Welcome back to the deep dive. You know, it's easy to think the big lessons, the really important stuff is all buried in like heavy books or long papers.
Right, that wisdom needs complexity.
Exactly. But today we're kind of flipping that idea on its head. We're diving into this amazing little piece, just an excerpt really, called The Silence, where everything is said.
A fantastic title. Intriguing from the start.
It is. And our mission, well, it's to unpack this one single, very brief encounter, just a fleeting moment between two people.
And pull out what it teaches us.
Yeah, pull out these surprising insights about, communication, humility, and maybe what real wisdom actually looks like day to day.
Because the argument is that sometimes the most profound knowledge isn't something you hunt for.
It just appears right there in the ordinary moments, if you're quiet enough to notice.
What I love about this source is the setting. It's so simple, it strips everything away. No fancy lecture hall, no big meeting.
Not at all. It's basically a philosophical moment happening while someone's buying ice cream. Can't get much more mundane than that.
Let's paint that picture. Can you walk us into the scene? The source describes it really vividly.
Okay, so picture this. You're in a really narrow lane, somewhere quiet, and there's this older gentleman, an elderly man, behind a very simple ice cream stand. Nothing fancy.
It's the man himself who stands out, isn't it? Not the stand.
Totally. The description talks about his worn features, lines on his face that tell a story, and a kind gaze.
But the killer detail, the one that really sets the tone, is his smile. It's described as a smile of tranquil acceptance.
Tranquil acceptance. That phrase really landed with me. What does that signal, do you think? Is it like he's given up? Or is it something deeper?
Oh, definitely deeper. I don't think it's apathy at all. Apathy is sort of checked out, detached.
Right.
Tranquil acceptance feels present, like he's seen it all, the ups and downs, the noise, the drama, and he's made peace with it. He's not fighting reality anymore.
Okay. So it's a kind of settled wisdom. Contentment, maybe.
Exactly. And that deep sense of peace, that tranquility, it's the perfect backdrop for the little conversation that happens next, isn't it?
It really is. Because out of that quiet contentment, he asks this question, looks over very warmly, and says in Spanish,
Tienes algo que decir.
which translates to,
Do you have something to say? Just like that. Simple. Direct.
so simple, but in that context, with that man, it feels huge, like an invitation. He's asking the author and maybe asking all of us, what's your contribution? What words do you have to add?
And the answer is what really makes this whole encounter stick.
Yep.
It's not what you expect.
No, it's not defensive, not a challenge. It's described as almost reflexive. The author replies also in Spanish, Todo está dicho.
Everything's already said.
Bam, just 4 words. Everything is already said.
And this is where a normal chat would go off the rails, right?
Mm.
Someone would argue or ask, what do you mean? Or try to prove it wrong.
Right, you'd expect pushback.
But this man, embodying that tranquil acceptance, he just nods, keeps that calm look. And he replies, Está bien dicho.
It is good said. Or maybe, it is well said.
It is well said. And then
Yeah.
just a simple grin, a knowing look.
And that's it. The whole conversation, maybe 10, 15 seconds, tops.
Probably.
Yeah.
But the impact described in the source is immense. It says the universe seemed to just exist within the silence that came after. A shared stillness.
Incredible, a tiny moment, but it felt vast.
Which brings us to the core question. Why? Why was that so powerful? We usually think communication means filling silence, talking more.
We do. We think silence is empty, a void to be filled.
But the source flips that. It suggests the silence wasn't empty at all. It was full. It was a state of being, a quiet kind of existence. The acknowledgment created the meaning, not more words.
Okay, let's dig into that reply. Everything's already said. I mean, hearing that now in our world obsessed with innovation, new takes, constant content, doesn't sound a bit, defeatist.
It could, couldn't it? Like, why bother saying anything new?
Yeah, like resignation.
But I think the source frames it differently. It says, those words hold centuries of contemplation. It's not about giving up. It's about intellectual humility.
Okay, unpack that. Intellectual humility.
Well, think about core human experiences. Love, loss, grief, hope, searching for meaning. Have we really invented new feelings? Or are we just experiencing the same fundamental struggles and joys that people have felt for millennia?
That's a good point. The packaging changes, maybe, but the core stuff.
Exactly. The source connects it to this idea that the answers we're often desperately searching for, they're not lost. They've already been spoken, written, sung about, prayed about, down through the ages. Think Ecclesiastes, there's nothing new under the sun. It's that kind of vibe.
So it's not saying don't create, it's saying Recognize the foundation you're building on.
Precisely. It suggests that maybe our job isn't always to shout something new, but to listen differently, to
Yeah.
tap into the wisdom that's already out there, echoing through time.
That really shifts the focus, doesn't it? From constant output needing to have the take, to input, to receiving.
And it points to another way of communicating. The source notes we often talk to be seen, or to prove we're smart, or to persuade someone. Noise, basically.
Lots of noise.
But on that day, in that lane, the communication wasn't noisy. It was a shared glance, a moment of quiet understanding between two people.
Yeah.
That conveyed more than maybe hours of debate could have.
Connection without sound, which leads right back to that idea of humility. The source points out how rare that seems now. Everyone wants to be louder, faster, sound smarter.
The hustle culture of ideas, almost.
Yeah. But the old man's reaction was the opposite of that. His humility was key. He didn't jump in to correct the author or add his own even wiser thought.
No correction, no argument, no... Well, actually, he didn't need to prove anything. He just heard the statement
Everything is already said.
and affirmed it. It is well said. Full stop.
That simple acceptance, that validation without needing to add more, that feels like a really powerful lesson, especially like in work settings or even family debates.
It's huge because it strips the ego right out of the interaction. He wasn't trying to one-up the author. He was acknowledging a shared piece of ancient truth. It's a masterclass in meaningful acknowledgment.
We feel this pressure, don't we? To always add value, offer a critique, show we're engaged by tacking something on.
Absolutely. But maybe sometimes the most profound way to connect, to show you understand, is just acceptance. A nod that says, yes, I hear the truth in that. It stands on its own.
No justification needed.
None. And the source says the author just left then. No more words were exchanged. But that quiet moment, that shared stillness, it resonated, it stuck, proving how much wisdom was packed into such an ordinary, brief exchange.
Okay, so let's try and synthesize this. We've explored the moment, the ideas. What are the concrete takeaways here? How do we translate this, poetic encounter into practical wisdom for everyday life?
Great question. The first clear lesson, I think, is that wisdom isn't always where we expect it. It hides in plain sight.
Behind the ice cream stand?
Behind the ice cream stand, in a chat with a stranger, during your commute, we just need to be present enough to catch it, not always rushing or distracted.
Makes sense. Okay, lesson 1. Look for wisdom in ordinary places. What's next?
Lesson 2 is about silence. That silence isn't just dead air. It can be incredibly powerful, intentional.
How could you use that? Like, practically?
Well, think about a tense conversation or maybe a negotiation. Instead of rushing to fill every pause, try holding a moment of silence after the other person speaks. Just let it sit. It can completely change the dynamic. Often the other person feels compelled to fill it, maybe revealing more.
Interesting. Using silence strategically, but also just valuing it more. Okay. Third lesson.
Brevity. The power of saying things simply. Everything is already said. 4 words. It is well said. 3 words.
Right. We often overcomplicate things. We use jargon or tons of explanation to sound smart.
But this suggests that real truth, real clarity, often lies in brevity. If you can't explain your core idea simply, maybe you don't understand it well enough yourself. Cutting down forces clarity.
Good one. Brevity reveals truth. And the final big one.
It has to be humility. That connection the author felt with the man wasn't built on clever arguments or showing off knowledge. It was built on shared humility.
Acknowledging that maybe we don't have all the answers, and that's okay.
Exactly. The source reminds us humility connects us far more deeply than pride ever can. Think about it. Next time someone shares something insightful, resist the urge to immediately top it. Try the ice cream man's approach.
Just validate it. That's well said.
That's well said. And let it land. See what happens.
So 4 key things. Wisdom is ordinary. Silence is powerful. Brevity is clarity. Humility connects.
That sums it up nicely. And the overarching message, the thing for you, the listener, to really take away, is that life itself is constantly quietly teaching us if we just slow down.
We spend so much time chasing the new, the loud, the digital.
Right. But maybe the deepest truths, the ones about being human, they require stillness. They require listening to the quiet moments, appreciating the things that seem insignificant.
It's quite a journey, isn't it? From a simple ice cream purchase to these big ideas about connection and wisdom. It really shows how you can find the extraordinary just sitting inside the ordinary.
It's all about perspective, isn't it? Recognizing that richness is already there. And it links back to that core idea. There's this incredible wealth of wisdom already available, expressed throughout human history. So maybe everything has already been said.
But, and this feels like the crucial part, not everything is already learned.
Exactly. That's the challenge for us, isn't it? It's one thing to hear these ideas, silence is good, humility works. It's another to actually integrate them, to practice them until they become part of how we operate.
So the final thought we want to leave you with is really a question. Reflecting on all this, what silence in your own life do you need to tune into? What old, maybe forgotten truth is waiting there to be learned or relearned? What has already been said that you still need to truly understand?